Hey everybody, welcome to Sled Talk, where we love talking everything snowmobiles, from pulling the cord to pulling your hair out. I'm Rob Reed.
I'm Steve Glass.
And we are here to share with you all kinds of great things revolving around the world of snowmobiling. Now Steve, have you ever gone riding with a pal or set up a ride ready to go, and you show up at his house?
Now I got your sled.
And he is bent over the sled, furiously trying to get it to start.
Yes.
That's happened.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, many times.
Mm-hmm. No, not a few times, for sure.
Often enough,
Yeah.
you know, in how many years of riding that we've done.
Exactly.
It's happened.
Take off all your gear and relax and wait for him to get going.
Pretty much that's what we did. So a couple weeks ago, I show up at one of our mutual friends' places. Mm-hmm. He shall remain nameless. And there he was with his hood up, working away with no spark, and swearing because he says, I just rode it in here like an hour ago, and all the stuff that goes with that. But there he was, and I guess some wire had been running against his brake disc.
Oh, okay.
And cut through and shorted something and whatever. Anyway, he fixed it. But on top of the fact that I'm giving him a hard time, his wife is standing there pointing and laughing at him too. And I know he felt like 2 inches tall. Mm-hmm. And we got it going, and we ended up having a fantastic ride that day. Covered a lot of ground, and just it was one of those just nice days to be out on the snow. But man, I know he felt terrible when we showed up, and of course, you know, it's just nice to be able to harass one of your buddies.
Sometimes you just show up and take your gear off and never leave.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
That's the end of your ride.
Yep.
Turns into that's the day.
Yeah, pretty much out comes a beer. And
I had a guy here the other day who said he makes sure his snowmobiles are full of gas every single time he parks them, so that when buddies show up, he doesn't have to even go get gas. He can just be out the door in 10 minutes and gone.
Yeah, doesn't have to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to slow them down.
Right. It's good thinking.
Yeah.
I like a guy like that.
I don't mind if it turns into just sitting around heckling a guy and.
Well, as long as you're not on the receiving end,
yeah,
right?
True.
Because I mean, your buddies can be pretty nasty people at times.
That's why I have 3 snowmobiles.
Yep.
Just
3.
That one, 3 that I ride.
Yeah,
that one doesn't start.
Say, who are you kidding here?
Jump on the next one.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So there's been lots of stuff going on across the country. And one of the things that's happened lately is in Quebec, the Quebec Provincial Police and the Quebec Federation of Snowmobiling Clubs handed out more than 260 tickets in 2 days back in January. Apparently they stopped more than 3,800 people, and they were ticketing people from their vehicles to their sleds to everything, from failure to wear a helmet to failure to comply with mandatory stops and signage, excessive speeds, driving on public roads in unauthorized areas. I found out about that just yesterday when I was out on my bicycle. Mm-hmm. Apparently you're not allowed to ride a bicycle into Area 51 in West St. Paul either. I just found that out after a long conversation with a cop. Failure to carry a driving license, registration, civil liability insurance, and a valid trail access rights pass, which is, I guess, trail pass in Quebec. And it goes on to say 15 snowmobilers were also caught and charged with impaired driving for either drugs or alcohol-related offenses.
Right.
It's crazy, eh? Now, this is going to be kind of interesting. The logistics, the FCMQ, Quebec Federation of Snowmobiling Clubs, a supervisor, Jocelyn Defosse, I hope I said that correctly, said that snowmobiling remains incredibly popular in Quebec. Through 23 and 24 riding season, there were more plated snowmobiles than there were motorcycles.
Oh, yeah.
And isn't that kind of like biker capital of Canada? Like if you're in Quebec and there's bikers everywhere, and
I think there's a lot there, yeah.
You know what I mean? And all that stuff going on. So that really surprises me. Good going, Quebec, in that you have that many people out riding.
Probably all skidoos, too.
I would think there'd be a fair number of skidoos, being kind of the national treasure there.
Right. Bombay, BRP. Good.
BRP. But some interesting stuff to see them cracking down like 260 tickets in 2 days. That's a bucket load.
Yeah, it is a huge number.
You know? And staying on that, but a little closer to home, in Ontario, the OPP have been cracking down on people with exhaust cans. And you and I talked about exhaust cans in a previous episode. And in Ontario, you must have the factory exhaust if you're riding the trails.
I hope it doesn't go that far here, but
Yeah,
it might.
God only knows, right?
Yeah.
I really don't know what's going on behind the scenes and who's pulling the strings and who's, challenging what laws or, making adjustments. So there could be stuff going on and there may not be.
Problem is, people want the loudest can they can get their hands on, and that's all they're after, is to make a lot of noise.
Not a lot of performance.
There's no performance gain whatsoever, just weight reduction. And you can do that with a nice quiet can.
Yep.
So, you don't have to be annoying if you don't.
If you want just the weight reduction and more noise, couldn't you just take a hole saw to your factory can?
You can just put a straight pipe on. I've seen it.
Yeah.
You'll get the same performance gain exactly.
Well, it even says here, police note that regardless of whether the modification is made for perceived performance, which I thought was cute, perceived performance, or attention, because let's face it, if you're not going after performance, you just want people to look at you because you got a loud can, that's attention. The charges violate provincial legislation, and the fine is $110. Now, I don't know, does that sound like a lot of money to you for that?
Not really.
Not really.
Not in the big scheme of things, no.
No,
I mean, I've got cans on my sled, so I'm not a anti-canned person. I'm an anti-buy the loudest can you can buy for the sake of being loud person.
Right. And I know I've piped and canned sleds in the past, but that's not illegal here in Manitoba.
No, not at all. But it would be like a nice, and that's the sad part. A nice trail can isn't very loud. It does reduce quite a bit of weight, and it makes working on that side of your snowmobile 1,000 times easier.
Right.
And the guys that want to put on the race cans and the mountain cans are going to get a law made that we can't have any of them. And a guy like me that wants to have a nice trail can is going to have to take it off.
Well, even when I did mine, it was because I did the pipe and all that, but I didn't go with a crazy can. It wasn't super loud. I mean, it had more of a rumble, but I did it for the performance of the pipe, not for the can.
Pipes are big, yeah.
Yeah, but I look at $110, and I remember back when they originally came back here in Manitoba with the barbless fishing. And everyone hated barbless fishing here in Manitoba, because we all had barbed hooks. And then I found out that it was a $35 fine.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, for $35, if you catch me once every 5 years, right? That's only $7 a year. I can afford that. So I didn't pinch any of the barbs. Because $35 at the time, and I really don't know what it is. I haven't even fished in Manitoba in 14 years. So I don't know what the fine is now, but they got to make these things, whether it's for cans or anything like that, so that you feel the pain.
Well, I think 110 is painful enough. I just don't think it's. Yeah, I kind of do.
I don't know.
It would make me. It would hurt me.
I'm gonna say that's 24 tall boys.
I know. If you think of it that way, yeah. But it would hurt a little.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not that painful.
Yeah, I guess.
So.
But yet it's painful for a lot of people to buy a $150 trail pass. Super painful.
Oh yeah, I know.
That's only $40 more than that fine is. So
yeah, exactly. So you're right about that.
Yeah.
I want to take a moment, Steve, and give a shout out to the South Interlake Sno Riders, because they have now groomed or extended their groomed trails into West St. Paul, Manitoba.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which is fantastic because, for me, it's less than a mile from my house now. And because of that, both me and my daughter have joined the club, sent in our dues. Nice. We are official South Interlake Sno Rider members now. And
they are grooming right up to the restaurant.
Yeah, right to the Grassme restaurant.
Another restaurant spot to go to now. We're talking about little restaurant destinations.
Yeah, for sure. So, for me, and there was another fellow that I met, sitting in their warm-up shack, and he was doing exactly the same thing. Also a West St. Paul guy. Who is now going to be joining the club, or so he said as we were sitting in the warm-up shack, because he had ridden that groomed trail all the way to where we were, halfway to Toulon.
Yeah.
Where their shack is there, and it's they were running a family day there at the same time.
Yeah, that sounded cool.
Yeah, well, they had hot dogs and hot chocolate, and fire going inside, fire going outside.
Yeah, that was a neat idea.
Yeah, they had some cutters. They had pulling some kids around. They had their groomer just parked right there so people could walk around and have a look at it. It was kind of neat.
That's almost better than the poker derby in a way, because it could bring a lot more family out. And you're sitting around talking, right? It's just like we talked about the old poker derbies where they were nice to be in a group like that. I saw that and I couldn't get out there, but I thought that sounded like a pretty neat event to have. Hopefully it's an annual event.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, now I'll be getting all of their emails and things when they start sending those through, so whenever there's something coming, so we can talk about that when it comes. But like I say, good on you guys, and really appreciate having a groomed trail less than a mile from my house, because it used to be about an 8-mile ride for me to get onto the groomed trails. And
drainage ditch and ditches, right?
Basically, yeah, and running abandoned, or at least, farm roads, mile roads that aren't used, so there was usually a bit of snow and ice on them to get there, and you had to cross a set of train tracks.
Oh yeah, those were
kind
of bad.
And watching guys cross train tracks where there's no actual crossing. Well, I know a guy that hit those one night and stopped his sled dead. Broke his leg as he was going over the handlebars, and spent a couple nights in ICU, and then however long in a cast. So
right at the same crossing too, right?
Exactly that area. Yeah.
Good.
So anyways, like I say, I'm really appreciative of you guys doing that and doing the extra work. I was talking to their president. He says they spend 38 hours a week doing their trail system, grooming their trails.
I would be surprised, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a full-time job, and they do have a retired farmer that runs around and does that, and they pay him and all that, so their trails are well groomed, albeit we could use another foot of snow, but that's not on any club.
No.
They can't control that part.
No.
So you know how we've been rattling on and on, Steve, about safety. Well, I guess nobody, and I mean nobody, is able to slip away from an injury when you're out snowmobiling. If you know Jeff Vinik, I don't know if you've had a beer with this guy or not.
No.
No, you haven't?
No.
Jeff Vinik, for anyone who doesn't know who he is, owns the Tampa Bay Lightning, the hockey team. He was snowmobiling in Norway and had some sort of an accident, and I really don't know. They don't give any details other than he had a crash. Out riding with his family, broke his leg. So I guess it doesn't matter if you're just the 16-year-old kid that doesn't know anything about snowmobiling to a guy that owns a National Hockey League team. You can get hurt if you're not paying attention.
True.
So ride safe out there.
Yep.
And that would be my what was he thinking for today.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah.
Because he must have been doing something, because you don't just break your leg riding along a trail nice and easy.
No.
So something must have been up. I'd like to know what it was. Jeff, if you're watching, you probably are. Give us a call.
Yeah, let us know what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. So Steve, you love to share tech tips.
Yes.
And I know on your Facebook page, you're forever posting. Steve puts all kinds of pictures of things he's working on and successes he's having and weird problems on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
But what have you got for us today, Steve?
Clutch pullers.
Clutch pullers.
Yes.
So are you talking about that little $15 to $25 piece of...
They're $35 to $40.
Okay, $35 to $40. Okay.
And you buy one of those and you can remove a clutch really easily and properly. And people seem to fight that like crazy.
Right.
They're like, fill it full of grease and wrap the threads with Teflon tape and use that method. Or put water in your crank, tip your snowmobile on its side and hope it doesn't roll upside down, and put water in there and use water to force it off.
Like a hydraulic.
Yeah. All these ideas, instead of just buying a clutch puller and pulling it off. And I'm working on a sled right now that someone obviously tried to use 2 pry bars to take it off, and they've bent both the sides of the rear sheave of the clutch, right?
Okay, so instead of, like you say, $35 to $45, they need a new clutch.
They do.
So 10 times that.
Yep, exactly. So, and I mean, it's just, online, it's just constantly people saying, how do you remove a clutch? And no one ever says, buy a $35 clutch puller and just take it off. It's all the hydraulic with the grease and with the water, and then I'll buy a clutch puller, and then 10 guys will correct me about the water thing works great, and they show a video and it's like 2 guys trying to flip a snowmobile onto their side. One guy's just trying really hard not to roll right upside down. Plus, I don't know about you, but I don't like tipping anybody's snowmobile onto its side, mine or a customer's.
Well, what if it just rolls right over upside down?
Rolls over, scratches all on the concrete while you're trying to pour water in there and
scratches your decals and your paint on your sled, all that.
And then the clutch comes off and water or grease goes everywhere. And you could just buy a clutch puller and take the damn thing off.
So what have you got here? I mean, you've got a clutch here. Is this specific
Well,
to
this
something
is-
that's happened? Or,
This is the clutch that's replacing the one that the guys bent today.
So,
I had to run around trying to find a used clutch to put on the snowmobile because
even a used clutch, I'm going to say hovers somewhere around $300.
Exactly.
And like you say, a puller of $35 to $45, and you can use it multiple times. They are reusable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would never.
Do you know a guy that sells these things?
I can get any puller for any snowmobile there is.
Is that
Yeah.
a little heavy or what?
It was a little heavy. Yes.
God,
Did
you
you?
need to start doing some push-ups. What's going on here? We got to get you on some sort of an exercise regime.
Yes. Yes. Anyways. Yeah, I can get.
You know, 12 ounces isn't that much to lift, right?
That was my wrong arm I was putting it down with.
Oh.
If I'd been using this arm, it would have been no problem.
Okay. All right.
If you need a clutch puller, call me.
All right.
If you want a clutch removed, just bring the snowmobile over. I can pull it off.
In just a couple minutes?
Yeah.
You know what? I hate to say it, but it would cost them more to bring the sled here.
Oh, it would, yeah.
You know, just in gas and time and all that, than it would for them to order the part from you, have you drop ship it to their place.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
So, with that in mind.
Big wrench and a pry bar and it's off.
Okay. What else have you got for us, Steve?
That was all I had.
Yeah? Did you want to talk about communicators?
I do.
Okay.
You said you were going to wait.
Well, I changed my mind. You
Then
know,
I will be back in a second.
okay, well, I will be
Start
here.
talking.
Oh, you can keep talking.
Oh, yeah, I
What
can, right.
originally got me going was the speakers that people can put in their helmets these days that you can run off of your Bluetooth and off your phone, so if you've got music going while you're riding. Because over the years, we've done just about everything.
Back in the 90s, you had our communicators.
We did have those. And I'll tell you.
You spent most of the night listening to some wind blowing through somebody else's helmet.
Well, you know what? Because their little piece here, I'm going to move my coffee cup so people can see it. The little mouthpiece would ride outside the helmet and catch all the wind. Or you got it inside there, and you got the one guy that sings.
Oh, yeah, that too.
You know, and he's singing his little heart out, can't carry a tune to save his life, and he knows one song.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
American Woman.
Yeah. We both knew who that was. You know, or the guy that's kind of starting to chew on it a little bit, and you hear all these sucking and chewing noises.
Or screaming or yelling or something.
Yeah, you know, they were.
That was the problem with those.
Yeah, they were.
And then if you actually did get stuck more than 30 or 40 feet away, they
didn't work anyway.
No, they didn't really work anyway.
Yeah, so I mean, but it was an interesting kind of first generation thing. I don't know if there's anything out there that's ever replaced them.
These were popular and lots of people had them, and I'm sure there's good communicators now, but they don't seem to be as popular. I don't think. Maybe they are. I don't know.
Yeah, because like I said, what got me going originally was all the different earplugs and earbuds.
Yeah.
Remember, we got those molded earplugs that one year, and we put them all in, and mine just disappeared. I don't know. I guess the wife saw them and didn't know what they were, so she hucked them out. Something like that. But you know, and using those crappy Apple earbuds, they do not stay in your ears when you're just sitting around doing nothing. Never mind snowmobiling.
I think they have some good Bluetooth speakers and stuff now for helmets, but
I'm
I've
seeing
never
those
tried
little,
them.
they look like, small little hockey pucks.
Yep.
And they look pretty interesting. And that's what originally got me going on this. But these days, I just couldn't be bothered putting on music in there anymore. I'm just kind of, just going for a ride and,
You should kind of listen to your motor, and make sure she sounds
Well,
okay.
if you spend all that money on a can, why wouldn't you want to listen to it?
Then you want noise canceling earphones.
Yeah.
To get that-
Again, you spent all that money. Why wouldn't you want to listen to it? I mean, if you're going to piss everyone else off with it, you may as well at least enjoy it
You
yourself.
might as well have ringing ears when you get home too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I've already got enough tinnitus from other things, never mind encouraging it. So,
Colette.
Colette, the communicator.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, we all had them.
Yeah.
They were good if you loved and hate them.
They were good if you were at a group of guys, you roll up to a stop, you were trying to decide which trail to take, and you could just sit around and talk with one another without getting off your sled.
Yeah.
They were really good for that. They were absolutely useless when you were moving.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I can remember though riding at night one time, passing another group, and all of a sudden I could hear somebody yelling at me that recognized me from the other group, so that was kind of cool. You know? There was just a handful of times where they were really, really neat, really, really handy, but most of the time you were just listening to somebody's motor or the buzz or the wind or whatever.
Or singing.
Or singing.
Yeah. Yeah, singing was the worst. All right. Well, Steve.
Yeah.
Snowmobiling is all about performance, and Performance Supply is all about ensuring that you have a great snowmobiling season. Thanks for checking in with us this week, and we look forward to talking again in a couple weeks on our next episode. Thanks.
Thank you.